Made yourself at home already, Mittens?
I'm just sunbathing.
Not really any sun.
Insect bathing.
Good morning, everyone. It's a new day. Jemima is having her morning nap and Ed is out at Halford's, Screwfix, Wickes, whichever shop he's going to for the bits for the engine. And then hopefully he will, I think he's planning on changing the radiator cap just in case, and then seeing if he can do anything else on this before we set sail to Marina. Marina's only 3 miles down the way, as I said last time, so it won't be long before we get there. Hopefully someone can help us. But I thought in the meantime it might be fun to answer some questions. I feel like the common questions that people ask us about living on a boat. Question number 1. The most common question that we get is, what do you do with the car? Can you drive a car? Can you own a car? Where do you keep it? Well, to be quite honest, the whole journey we have had, pretty much every place we've been to has had a train station in walking distance. So we use there's a free app called Open Canal Map, which is great. It's like Google Maps but for canals, and it tells you where all the locks are, where the good mooring points are, where the train stations are, etc., and all the facilities. Just let the train go past. So we use that map, and we plan our stop to be somewhere near a train station within walking distance. So what we do is we moor up wherever it may be. Ed then walks to get the train, and then he gets the train, usually only 1 or 2 stops, because you know the speed at which we travel is not very far, and then he goes and gets the car from where it last was, and then he goes and finds somewhere to park it nearby. And I will say 9 times out of 10 he finds free parking pretty easily. I reckon, well, he reckons that within this kind of 15-16 months of cruising he's had to pay about 25 quid out in parking. Pretty good going. So actually that was probably the biggest concern that we had, and it has been the least of our problems, really. Question number 2 is a bit of a gross one. It's, what do you do about the toilet? Generally canal boats have one of two options. The first one being pump out, which is like a proper flushing toilet and everything, and then you visit one of the various pump out stations along the canal network to pump out your waste. We don't have that, unfortunately. We've got the normal, the more frequently found toilet system, which is just like a cartridge toilet, which is just like what you'd get in a caravan, for example. So we do have water to flush, you know, we do have a flush and everything, a little flush, but then a light comes on when the cartridge is full, and you have to find the nearest, what they call Elson disposal points, because they're called Elson, and then go and get rid of your waste. It's a gross job. Ed has never faltered, he always does it. I've never had to do it once. It was kind of a bit of an unwritten agreement, really, between us that I wouldn't do it. But it's not ideal, but it is what it is, and I think for the lifestyle that we have, it's a small price to pay, really. And question number 3, which is probably one of the most talked about sensitive subjects, is how do you deal with a baby on a boat? We have had people close to us, friends, family, but we've also had strangers, lots of people passing comment on their views on having a baby on a boat. Now, we find this a difficult one because our situation kind of found us as opposed to us finding it, and it's something that we've had to deal with ourselves and had to learn. Jemima hasn't known it any different. She was born and brought home from the hospital onto a boat, and she's lived on the boat ever since. My view is, look, she's a toddler now, she's walking, she's hard work at the moment. It's only going to continue at this rate / get worse for the next couple of years, but the way I see it, it's about looking after your child, and we've got a baby gate between the kitchen and the living room. We're probably going to end up having to get a baby gate at the back stairs that lead off the boat. But hey, to me, I mean, my last flat on my own was a 14th story flat with a balcony. To me, it's no different to worrying about that. It's no different to wondering whether your child's going to run out onto a road, if you live on a terraced house in a road. It's just about being a good parent as best you can and keeping your child out of danger. We do have a little life jacket for her on board, and you know, we teach her. We're going to teach her the safety, and obviously as soon as the swimming pool's open, we're going to be back there teaching her how to swim. You know, you do hear horror stories about people and children going on boats and falling off and dying, which is dreadful. Usually though, they're people that have hired boats that aren't that experienced. This is our home and we keep her safe. That's all I can really say. And I will also add as well, with regards to Jemima, is that yes, we live in a very small space, but she does have her own little room. She loves to play in that. But I think the beauty of living on the river is that there is always somewhere lovely to walk with her. She gets out every day, unless it's really, really nasty. Even if it's just half an hour for a walk along the towpath, she has grown up surrounded by ducks, swans, you know, all the river wildlife. She's obsessed with ducks, she loves them. Every morning she gets to feed them out of the side hatch of the boat. She really is having a lovely, lovely life on board, and I'm so grateful that she's been able to kind of have this in her life. And that was another one of the reasons why we wanted to kind of document this video for her, because she's not necessarily going to remember, you know, she's still very young, so it would be nice for her to look back and see how lovely her life really was on board. Ah, good morning. Suddenly appeared out of nowhere, I see. I don't have any bread for you today, guys. I gave it all to you yesterday. I don't have anything. Sorry. Sorry. I haven't got anything, mate. I told ya. I told you already. Sorry. Who's this coming down the way? Well, hello there.
Oh, hello there.
Fancy seeing you here. Have you bought me lots of presents?
No.
Oh.
Would you like nylock bolts and 10?
Oh.
And coffee? Well, it appears that having loose bolts in your prop shaft, one bolt missing, and a very, very loose engine mounting can create so much vibration the jars fall off the shelves. And now there's very little vibration because I'm big.
Yay! Fixed, fixed, fixed! And we're off! And Eddie has fixed the problem. It sounds just like it did before.
I think it sounds better actually.
You think it sounds better? Well done, Eddie Shark! Here we go! Here we go! We're on the move. Say hello to everybody. Say hello. 5 little ducks went swimming one day. Look! Over the hill and far away. La, la, la. Quack, quack, quack. Yeah, what can you see? Lots of nice things, isn't there? What can you see? Quack, quack, quack. Good girl. Are we going to watch Daddy do the lock? Are we? Wow.
front, aren't we?
We're okay. We'll be alright, won't we?
I might just pull us back a little bit.
Bliss. Good evening. So we've made it to Wolverhampton. We've done, I don't know, how many locks did we do you think? 4? And we did like 2 or 3 swing bridges as well. We made it to Wolverhampton. Obviously we didn't have the whole day navigating, but we've stopped for the evening. We went for a little walk into the village. We actually stayed here last year when we were coming the other way, and we really loved the place. So we went for a little walk there. And then we had a little drink and we came back. Jemima's now in bed. So we're going to stop for the night and potentially go and grab something from the little village shop in the morning before we leave, just for old time's sake. But we are actually moored alongside the tow path and we're on a shelf. So we're a little bit like that. So you're kind of walking sideways down the boat, but it's fine. Hopefully we'll get off it fine in the morning. Ed's looking like this, but hopefully it'll be fine, because hopefully the water will be coming through from other locks when people, hopefully. So yeah, so we've stopped. We're absolutely shattered. Well, I am anyway. I don't know why I am, because he's the one that's done all the work fixing the boat, but hey ho, that's what having a toddler does. We're going to have a quiet evening, we're going to watch a movie and we're going to eat some popcorn, go to bed, and then bright and early tomorrow. Night night. Good morning. Good morning. What's the matter? Good morning everybody. So we've come out of Wolverhampton, we've done the notorious lock, which immediately has a bridge straight after it, a road bridge, which has a lot of current and can be quite hairy. But we've got a bit of vibration again, annoyingly, on the engine. It's not anything like as bad as it was, but Ed seems to have found a slightly bigger issue, potentially. But it's not actually causing any damage when we're going.
We're going to stop at Aldermaston Lock and then we'll have a look, see if we can do a on-site repair and we'll do another bit.
Okay.
But I think we're actually running quite smooth now. I think we had a bit of grit in the weed hatch as well, which wasn't helping.
Oh.
So that's all cleared now. We're running quite smooth, so I'm just going to take it easy today.
And poor Ed keeps getting dressed in his nice clothes and then having to put his dirty engine bay clothes back on.
These weren't my dirty engine bay clothes, but they've turned into them quite quickly.
FYI, when Ed said we're going to get going bright and early first thing in the morning, I at least thought I was going to be able to, you know, have my cup of tea and do my facial routine before, and just get Jemima dressed and have her breakfast before we got going. It's been a bit manic, to be honest. Ed bought me some lovely white roses the other day. Problem is, on the boat, this is one thing I would like to actually sort out, is currently they're just sat on the corner here because we haven't got anywhere else to put them. So I was thinking I was going to ask Ed to build like a little corner shelf there, just for me to always have a, you know, vase of flowers, maybe put my phone on when it's charging. Another thing added to the list. By the way, I apologise for the constant state of messiness on the boat with regards to children's toys, cups, juice. We do tidy up at the end of the day, I promise. It's just sometimes, well, I'm sure I don't need to tell anybody that's got a toddler, but it's messy work. Another pillbox. So here we are. We are between Aldermaston and Thiel. We've done what feels like a million locks, although I'm sure it's only about 4. done quite a few swing bridges as well. And we've got a lot less vibration going on, but there's still something small, isn't there? We're still going to need to look at it, but it's not affecting our journey, which is good. It means we can still get to Thiel, which is the aim. The aim is to get to Thiel before Thursday, because Ed's got a couple of weeks of work, so we'll be using our 2-week mooring there. And then we'll be continuing after that onto the Thames through Reading. After Thursday, you're not going to see very much of us for a couple of weeks, because we won't be doing any boating. We will be on a 2-week mooring somewhere, and then we'll be coming back following that. We might even have a handy helper with us, hopefully. Yeah. So we need to find somewhere to stop for the night, and we'll fill you in when we get there.
So we're at Tile Mill Lock, I think, and unfortunately the swing bridge is broke, so we can't go through. So we're double moored up against a private moored boat, and he's very kindly put us, roped us up to the rings beyond him, and there's nothing here at all apart from a pub down the road that would do some takeaway and some foil, but it's a bit of a palaver, so I've got to create some dinner. We don't know whether we'll get to Thiel tonight, probably not now, or in the morning. Such is life. So we found a fantastic mooring just by reversing a little bit.
Yeah, if
that
you
we
look,
can stay on for 14 days.
If you look, see that's the broken bit, and we were moored just there by one of the other boats. But Ed went for walkabout and has found us. Carry on.
A beautiful mooring with a landing stage that we can just walk over.
Literally walking distance from where we're double moored, from that man down there, that very nice man. Look at this, it's got a little landing pontoon and everything, and we can moor here for
14 days.
14 days.
So that's exactly what we need.
This is exactly what we need, because Ed's got to go away and do some work, like we've already said. So we're going to spend 14 days here, which is actually way, way nicer than where we were planning on staying before. It's not as convenient facilities-wise, is it?
No, but once we get to car tomorrow,
there's a free car park down the way. Oh, Mittens is having a wander. Yeah, it's lovely, this mooring, isn't it? What are you doing there, Ed? So we realised that actually we talk about mooring up. We haven't actually shown you guys what that looks like, unless there are... Sometimes there are mooring rings where they've got organised ones, but if you want to just moor up by the towpath, you have to do it yourself. So the towpath is always generally a 14-day mooring, and you can use, generally, unless there's signage, moor up anywhere. So this is what you do. So you have these... Oh, there's rings here.
Yeah, where normally you put a pin in there.
Normally there's a pin which basically looks like a huge tent peg, essentially, isn't it? Like a massive tent peg. Yeah. So Ed gets one of those and he hammers it into the ground, and then he gets the ropes. We've got 3 ropes. We've got one at the back, one in the middle, and one at the front. So ignoring the tent pegs, this is what he does.
So, because my rope won't go back to the boat, we can do a lovely thing called a midshipman's hitch, which is one loop there. So, another loop there, like so, and that's the actual hitch. And the beauty of this knot, and the locking hitch here, just to finish it off, the beauty of this one is that you can loosen it off or tighten it, and as soon as it comes under a load, it remains fast.
So you can loosen it really easily by hand, but as soon as a load comes along, it's strong as can be. Ed's favourite knot, isn't it?
Midshipman's hitch, look it up on YouTube.
But that's how we moor up. So yeah, 2 weeks or at any point on the towpath unless otherwise stated. Either use our tent peggy things or the rings that are provided, such as in this case. Look at Mittens. Made yourself at home already, Mittens?
I'm just sunbathing.
Not really any sun.
Insect bathing.
So Ed's going to go and get the car tomorrow.
First thing, and do some repairs.
Do some repairs. Maybe we could get some shopping in. Because I think we've learnt our lesson today, haven't we? With regards to not having that many staples in. But yeah, it's funny, the last couple of things that have kind of gone wrong for us, in some ways, a better thing has come out of it. You know, like we had a bit of a slight potential hiccup with the marina, but that has actually worked out to fit us really well now as well. So at the moment, somebody is looking after us.
In a strange sort of way.
In a backwards sort of way.
Well, the vicar had a look at somebody's garden. He said, with God's help and your gardening, you've made a lovely garden. And the guy said, well, you should have seen the state it was in when God was looking after it.
And that's the moral of the story. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Goodbye.